Cyber Espresso Podcast, your quick chat of cybersecurity insights with industry leaders. I welcome today's guest, Tamlynn Deacon. Tamlynn, good morning, good afternoon.
Hello, lovely to be here, and thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. So, Tamlynn, I think we will all agree that building a strong cyber-aware culture is essential. But when we are dealing with a global workforce, in your opinion, what makes it so difficult to drive consistent security behaviors across different cultures?
Oh, wow, yeah. I think this is actually the key point, and you've just mentioned it. It is the culture. As we grow up through life, as we interact with people and the areas that we're in, we take and we learn and we adapt to the bits that are around us. Yet we decide to design a security policy and push that out from one central location. And it just doesn't really work that way. I think that gets somewhat lost, not just in translation, if you just randomly put in another language, but how we interpret, how we communicate. And for me, that is why it's so important when you have global team is to get that global input of how is this going to be read in your country? How is this going to be read with your group of people and your peers? Because even the different departments that we work with will understand something slightly differently, and it's always open to interpretation. So yeah, it's super important to understand not just the culture, but the personality types, the direction of the business, what is that feeling around it, and to be collaborative when you're defining those policies.
Yeah, very good. So, what is the strategic shift you believe leaders must make to elevate security into a strategic enabler rather than a defensive expense? Because we see a lot of people are very concerned about it, but it could be an enabler, it could be an opportunity.
100% agree with this. And in fact, since I've started my public speaking and awareness, this has been the one thing that I have been pushing probably for a decade now. It's security does not have to be a blocker. It does not have to be the policemen and the enforcers. In fact, it can be the catalyst that drives how the business runs and operates. And I know that sounds quite ridiculous because it is an expensive thing. It is making sure things are following certain guardrails. But the adage that we've heard many times before, and I'm sure you've heard it yourself, is the brakes on a car, right? They're not just there to save your life. They're there so you can go really, really fast and enjoy the ride too. And having that safety feature in and having that mode of, okay, we're doing this right from the beginning. We're involving the right people at the right time to make sure that however we design this process, this product, this software, whatever it is that we're doing it in a way that's both future-proof and ready and safe and is going to protect our employees, is going to protect our customers, and is going to make us more money in the long run, which is, let's be fair, what we're all after. But also it's going to give us those guardrails and that focus to be like, right, what is it? How can we make the best possible product without having all of these different versions that could possibly happen around you? Keeps you focused, keeps you grounded, and also gives you that ability to really push forward in the direction that you're looking for.
Yeah, very good. So you're a certified business coach.
I am.
And where we live now, AI is taking over. Of course, it brings abundance of opportunities and some uncertainties. How is in this new era that, if I recall it, you think you need to reshape the way that you coach leaders?
It's really interesting now. AI has been around for much longer than we talk about it. It's become much more mainstream now, and everybody has the ability to interact with it in a different way. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I've noticed the shift in people's understanding, and it's gone from the people that have been like, it's coming, we need to prepare, we need to create these guardrails, we need to make sure that we are enabling people in the right way, that it doesn't actually turn into this giant monster that could destroy the world one day. And how do we do that? And then there's this group of people that's like, yeah, no, it's actually not going to impact me at all. I've got nothing, like, no, it's fine. I'm just not paying any attention. And then we got the people that are like, hey, okay, I want to dive in and I'm going to use it and I'm going to do everything I can. It's making my job go quicker. It's giving me more time with my family, and it's building all of these different things for me. But they might not be aware necessarily that they're putting in a lot of data and a lot of information that could really be quite problematic in the long run, because it's just such a the wild west situation. It's just going in so many different directions. And those are the 3 main areas that I'm seeing in the industry. And with the coaching, what I keep bringing it back to is, what is the human element? What is it about us as humans that have made us resilient in building what we've been doing for the last 200 years, 300 years,
Right.
since we've been taking these things? And it is our authentic self. It is who we are, is how we interact. It's almost as though it's an energy that we feel around each other, and the human spirit that is there. And if we manage to pull ourselves back to our truth, and as you said, your authentic self, we get to realize that no matter what life throws at us, whether it's new technology or a super strain bug that's going to close down the entire world, whatever it is, we adapt and we change, and we have to roll with those things that are happening if we want to be resilient and survive. And I think that's something that we really need to keep it on top of our minds, is people are scared. People are also not at all scared. And there's somewhere in the middle there that we need to find a good balance. And that's our responsibility as leaders, is to be, how can we balance that out with the people that we're leading? How can we educate those around us? Because being a leader, and I say this very often, it doesn't need a title. You can lead anybody, and you can be that person up in front, and you can be the person that's just helping your neighbor or your friend. And that is a form of leadership. And these are the types of things where you're like, oh, what are you doing? What is the right conversation to be having around these things? And should we be scared? Should we be apathetic? Should we be thinking about what the next steps are? Or should we just be going with the changes and figuring out what's next? And I don't know the answer to that, but I know things are shifting and changing, and having that adaptability and being able to shift your own perspective is super key, especially now with how AI is going and quantum computing, and we can talk about all the different things, but let's just stick with this one. Yeah, it's interesting and exciting, and it's wonderful to be in our industry that we can talk about it from a cyber perspective and a technical perspective, because never before has it shifted this quickly, this fast, and that's exciting to me.
I totally agree. Well, Tamlynn, I appreciate for this lovely conversation. I appreciate your time being part of our podcast. I look forward to maybe in other occasions to talk to you.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And thank you again so much. It's been really fun to have a good thought-provoking little sound bites here. So it's been fun.
Thank you very much. Take care, Tamlynn. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.